Welcome to our lovely future humans and those who are curious about being yourself. It's the smart way though. It's not just any self. No, I'm just kidding. Depends. It depends on where you come from. So here's the deal. I'm a mystic, spiritual, and mindful. So those who are secular, stick around. Those who are mystic, spiritual, stick around. Sciences and spirituality. They're an amazing blend. That's what makes you intelligent. Also, the fact that you don't have your likes and dislikes ruling you. Your biases, your 14-month-old, your I want it to be a world that's about what is right now, it feels right. So, if you're ready to hear why being yourself is the best advice I could ever give anyone, but wait for it, because before you can be yourself, you need to own the sense of self. So, I'm going to explain to you why science and spirituality keep the enlightened ones, those who are in the enlightenment soul age group, and or humanly speaking, they're called higher self people with integrated brains, restorative embodied. They're self-aware, accountable, regulating. They're mindful, and they have mindsight skills. They sift their sensations, images, feelings, and thoughts without a problemo. And when they see anyone that says this or this, it's oh wait, am I triggered? No, I'm not. Thank goodness. I got real great mastery over all the emotional stuff. So when equanimity is the ruler of it all, and you see the distorted feminines and distorted mass. So anybody who's immature is going to be a distorted or basically not an empowered version of their feminine or masculine energy. And really, they won't have either. Doesn't matter if they think they can save the world. Actually, that's a savior complex. Those are spiritual bypassers. Those are adaptive child part people. They have likes and dislikes. In fact, they'll tell you that the demon and devil is in whatever the fuck they don't like. And I will be cursing. So please get used to it. I'm a human. My 45.0 version is actually kind of like cool with everything, because really when I was growing up, I thought grown-ups were trying to teach me how to behave. Then I realized that they don't behave like grown-ups. And now I have the science that confirms what the enlightened ones and spiritual masters and all gurus knew. Every disciple, every human being has the potential to rise from the ashes. No, to rise above that which is the left mode alone. Use the left and the right. However, wait for it, because science and spirituality, they keep the enlightened and the intelligent minds and hearts humbled and enriched, as our short says. So I'm alive every day. I see a bountiful of non-alive people. They're pseudo-alive, and they structurally dissociate, and then they make their actual non-metabolized trauma charges. There's your 8-year-old basically is ruling the show, but they're not ruling because they're not the intelligent minds, you see? So intelligence requires you to, where is it? Yes. To not be influenced by your memory. That means you're implicit or explicit, and or diluted by your imagination. As a downloader, channeler, and a mystic who has gods chiming in, Akash chiming in, I got all of it chiming in. The people who think it's buffoon, no, it's not. But they all wait, because I'm like, hold on, I'm speaking. Then you can come in. No, or they can say, no, Maria, we want to come in. Okay, stop it. So energetic imprint, we talked about it. Empowered feminines don't have questions. In fact, God actually directs us very well, I must say. He made sure I would maintain a level of humility, and that's throughout my 45 years of life. Now I'm mastering pretty much, gonna say I'm there. Physical mastery. Maria has an empowered masculine and feminine. So human elements, let me start again. 3-year-old, do you have yours? My favorite childhood memory is when I'm 3. Then I move to when I'm 8 and I get disowned by my twin who thinks we broke each other. I said, no, you just liberated me from what is buffoonery, effective realism. Teenage boyfriend I argued with because I thought I would marry him. Thank goodness that no, he had choice points. He made them all, and he threw his soul. No, he threw his child parts into the ashes. So then you get to grow up and see all these people with their likes and dislikes thinking they're intelligent, and I get to watch them from afar, because in Italy there's a saying, yeah, you're right, you're right, you're right. Tell the fool that they're right so you can get them out of the way. I learned how not to do that, because I'd be like, yeah, you're right, you're right, you're right, you're right, because that's exactly how teenagers argue. Luckily for me, as a grown-up with attachment and trauma signs, I'm like, hey, Cusco, what's up? Yeah, I know, right? That ego death. Oh, that dark, no, I don't do any of this. The dark night is so, oh my God, your twin flame. Yeah, I know. Nah, you're control. But I thought you came from a special star. This is how 5D mystic Maria and Magic Mary handles people who tell me, oh, but you have 3, you have more practice. Okay. Others, I thought you had a problem with love when I heard about your twin flame thing, because it was really out of the ordinary. But then I got one. And now that I have one. So, okay, back to science and spirituality. They keep enlightened and intelligent minds and hearts humbled and enriched. And that's why being yourself, the 3-year-old of me right now. So if you don't own your child parts and you can't have fun with people and you don't think humanity's awesome, please, you want to go somewhere else. It's called inspiring human potential. Like every single place you're going to find my name and my face. When people say you can't be happy, only you smile, you fake, I can cry and be happy at the same time. Maybe you have a challenge with doing that because you don't know how to wield your nervous system. What was it? Yes. A truly intelligent mind is neither influenced by implicit, explicit memory. I know how to handle my panic attacks. When people get upset about it, I think, okay, wow, I wasn't telling you how to do it. When people get off of it, that's disgusting, sick. Go get yourself some help. And please don't pretend it didn't happen. And I can't say that to anybody because you know what happens? Thanks, Bezo van der Kolk. You can't talk sense to buffoons, which is why you learn how to just not say anything. Oh, and they don't suck your energy dry because that's why I own my 3-year-old. So I have science technical verbiage and God's chiming in again. He's reminding me to take it down a notch. My masculine, he got to close out all his karma. So I want to keep it that way. I like Dharma. Dharma life is fun life, and that's for the future, and that's why you may be right, I may be crazy. It might just be a lunatic you're looking for, but mystics, we don't have questions. Spiritual ones, the ones of us who are in communion with God, we actually know exactly what's going on. I've seen choice point after choice point, and actually then I'm like curiously asking God, so hey God, I know some things, but I'm curious about would there have been the sliding door moment for humanity or not? And then I say, well, it doesn't really matter, Maria, because you won't know because they already made the choice. So anger also, mature anger is where I realize there's no point in me getting fuming nostrils because I can't correct it. It already happened. So I live in the now, and my prefrontal and equanimity is the ruler of all of the leadership that is a true leader. Now you want to get the pretenders, watch them as they continue to be buffoons. We step away because we know who God is and Akash and Source. We don't have to chime in everywhere. That's actually both secular and spiritual people. You see what I'm saying? We don't make it into big a deal. I don't save you. You don't save me. The roof, if it falls over my head, you didn't save me. Oh, look, I died. Physically, that would be a very, very sad day for Maria. I wouldn't know about it. It would be a sad day for those who would want to see me still alive. It would be a happy day for those who would want to see me dead. Do I think there are people? I don't know. But hey, if they have envy, jealousy, spite, insecurities like the bejesus of them, and basically they're rotting inside because they didn't go to therapy, then yeah, they might really look forward to that day, even though it's a very short-lived satisfaction. Because see, if somebody dies, that's it. Gargamel, you have no more Smurfs to have your little pity parties with. Do you see how unimpressive any of insecurities are? For a person who's like, okay, come on, people, be your own 3-year-old already. Get to therapy. Go to Pageant. Stop being the ones who pass on your self-righteous, contemptuous generational batons or throw scarlet letters around. So when people politically, religiously, and all those opinions, they want to give you a scarlet letter, I just think of the book. I'm like, wow, we're still living it. There's a bunch of people who are ignorant. Yeah, I'm not going to hang out with the ones who don't want to send their kids to hospitals. You know how kind of a conversation for a polyamory person who's a mystic would be like, you're the devil in disguise. No, not really, but hey, you keep not taking your children to hospitals and thinking that you're going to be saved the day that the sun goes out, because if you're going to make everything fake... So I do know that we have sciences and spirituality having a good time together. Then there's the ones who say, but my scientist said, those people, they actually are very not leadership-like. So they will have a crowd. They will have a following. They will definitely, like the flat earthers, be someone we know about. And that's why we're going to have a good time, because that's how it works. Intelligent minds are not influenced by that which is buffoonery, but we do spot it, and then we notice where the actual possibility to, okay, here we go, right there. That's where you're gonna, that's the hole. That's why we know where the gaps are. You stay silent until you're ready to fill in the gap. I know how to tell you, be yourself first, and that's only though if you got your 3-year-old online and 1-year-old, and that means you know how to navigate your nervous system, which is why you won't want your likes or dislikes to win. You're going to want what is right for the entire world to win. Let's make it a better place for you and for me and the entire human race. Yes, imagine all the people living life in peace. I haven't changed my mind. It's a small world. After all, I was a child. It's a small world. I don't change my mind because God is good. So it's cosmic karmic balancing. And then when I see choice points being made like that in the front of my face. I'm like, okay, they had an option. I saw it. That was right here. It was like this much. They chose not. They chose to go with the spitefulness, the scarlet letter, the envy, the jealousy, the trauma charge. They all chose in mass, made for the people by the people. I'm a political science major. Did I forget to mention that? So when I see people talking to me about it, I'm like, yeah, I'm a professional who chose not to go in the profession. I'm not going to make it into a big deal. I'm going to tell you unjust. You know what's unjust? Seeing my teacher, Sue Martin, tell me, what does it take for a 3-year-old's energy to get wiped out and sucked out? And I'm like, and all the people in my classroom with me are like, oh my God, how do we help? How do we help? And they're like, don't worry. The body's smart. It's healing itself already. Wow, neurobiology, neuroscience, DA. So any smart human being is going to be all over that, doing it, not talking about it, and then wanting to get revenge over the group that they want to punish, because that's the whole point of why we have very unbalanced situation at this hand right now, like a lot of things. But it's not the first time. So, you know, at the end of the day, it's not. That's why the people who live on fantasy, drama, dopamine in a way of being completely their teenage version don't like equanimity. They can't get off on a high, which is sickening. That low frequency, it's sickening to me. Your gut, get out of it. It's a visceral. You don't need to be running from the bear anymore. You live in cities or you live in towns. Otherwise, go live with the tribes. Go have fun. You know what's funny is seeing a guy with a camera in the forest telling, get off of social media, on social media. That's hilarious. Hypocrite. Spread it. Spread the word. Use a megaphone. Go walk. Use your feet. Commit to what you decided. Get off social media. Then be off of it. Me seeing you with a fancy camera, fancier than mine, and then you stating get off of social media through social media just makes me laugh my ass off and think, yeah, I eat meat and I love animals. No, I don't want to kill meat. But I don't think I have to worry about that anymore, because although some people think we're going to go back to the Stone Age, I think it's only going to be the ones who want to go underground because they decided that they are smarter and the better, you know, children of God, and whatever words they'll use don't matter. So I don't look up to the ones who have adult pacifiers. So they're drinking, smoking, doing dry, whatever it is, that lovely video. Yeah, the adult pacifier. Wow. Like that just gave me a visual, and I'm like, okay, that can work. That can work if you make people realize that that's exactly why it is an unhealthy self-soothing mechanism due to your child not being reassured in the right way. So no, nobody's perfect. That's why we're not going to hold our parents and humanity's history of ignorance and their modulated embodiment against them. I mean, that sounds kind of unfair. They didn't know how to use their nervous system. They weren't explained it. They didn't even have the information. Hey, some people don't even believe it. They think that there's lack of imagination for evil. Go figure. There's some people who still think demonic possession is real because they don't believe in neuroscience. Yep, and I'm a mystic. I know it wasn't real by the time I was 20. By the time I was 20, I knew no Lucifer. By the time I became a mystic, I'm like, yeah, there ain't no demons. What are you talking about? We're all energy. God, you're great. I love you, man. And no, he's not a man, but that's how I talk to God. And the people who are all about the genders. Like, I watched this man who's a pastor give this entire speech to women and men as they giggled and laughed. I was infuriated for the men, not for the women, because the women were chaotic apparently. And I know what I mean. Have you ever seen chaos? I've never been chaotic, but I've been emotional. That's for sure. No, I wouldn't want to be chaotic. But the part about the men, he treated their brain like dumb idiots. And as I'm watching, I'm like getting angrier and angrier by the minute. This is Maria irritated, and I'm like, I was a feminist for a short time. Then I became a humanist because I'm like, we're all equals. We're different but the same. We have different traits. Our brains are made differently. There's no reason for these exaggerations, you know. So again, science and spirituality, they keep enlightened and intelligent minds and hearts humbled and enriched. So being yourself, why does it provide the intelligence and leadership skills that make a difference? Because equanimity, calm-centered nervous system, restorative embodiment, self-awareness, accountability, regulation skills. Those are the people who are going to be back, and that's why being yourself. Also prophecy, speak forth mind and heart of God. You think intelligence, consciousness, creatorship would ever use a tone that is of a barbaric, ignorant human being who's only using their gut? No, that's why he knows exactly how to keep all of his children in check. Meaning, hey, get down on the floor. Humility, that's your tone. Get your tone, work with it. It's not hard to hear when your higher self is in the lead, because that's what it's called to be a person who knows equanimity, compassion, love, and that justice. Stop sucking out the life of the 3-year-old that gets born in a bunch of different households. When I see men shaving their beards and their children crying, Just one random example. I'm not laughing. I'm like, oh shit. I don't know. Did that create a fear? I don't even know. The child left to cry themselves to sleep, sleeping in their vomit because the mother decided they're going to have to sleep it out. Yeah, that just made complete shutdown. Like, I'm just not even laughing. So when I think of the poor children, yes, it's unjust. A lot of things are unjust. Go ask the pacifier adults. Yes, the ones, or the pacifier teenagers who are already starting their journey with it. Let me think. Breaking bad habits. Yes, willpower can work if you have a higher self in the lead. The other hand, if you don't own the first 8 years of your life and you become an adolescent, I met them. They're all cowards. I still remember that day. You won't know about the day, but I remember it in my head. And I remember also as I continued to move forward and as we grew up, we had each other's back. We had really, you must remember having each other's back very differently. I know exactly what I saw between adaptive child part people as an adolescent, which is in the norm, then growing up. I'm 45. Oh, I haven't stopped seeing them, so it's not funny. It's actually quite uninteresting. As Dan Martel points out, the most dangerous person in your life is the one who makes you comfortable with mediocrity. To me, they're not dangerous. I just need to respectfully not engage with them too much. And that's why I share, hey, if your beliefs are not falsifiable, if there's no scenario that could convince you that your most cherishable opinions are in error, then that's proof that you didn't get them by being in contact with reality. Sam Harris. I know my likes and dislikes. Humanity does wonders when they're together as compassionate beings. They obviously are not there just yet, but we're getting there. So if you divide the world into what you like and dislike, you become incapable of perceiving the truth. Thank you, Sadhguru. And he also shared something else. What was it the other day? A situation becomes stressful only when you compulsively react to it. And yes, that is the lovely nervous system, the sympathetic that the light and lightning people want to keep, or the guy who says, I want it to be a world where it's about what is right. When your humanity is in full flow, you reach out to life around you. This is not morality. This is the nature of the human heart. Yes, the human heart is open when you have a person who does know why work on the unfinished business we have with our abusive family. Thank you, Patrick Tian. Because he says, we want our body back, we want our peace back, we want our energy back. And that is the part he knows all about, what the energy. So when I think of the feminine, and that's also Shakti, and that's also Prakriti, that's your 3-year-old on all your child parts. Once you own your sense of self, be yourself, great. You're going to know what I feel in my body. And it ain't wine. Wine, moderation. Otherwise, it's too much and it weighs your body down. The Shiva and the Purusha, pure consciousness, the masculine energy, yes. When you have an integrated brain and your brain's a conduit like mine is, and you know how to notice. Yeah, Maria gets irritated by fucking liars. There's a bunch of them. It's only when they're adaptive child part, which means either it's a pseudo-intellectual, I'm pseudoscience, but it would be a pseudoscience who's a pseudo-intellectual who's selling their dogma, likes and dislikes, and who's using their role. And whenever a grown-up is manipulative, my mother taught me what to do with them. If you can't say something nice, say nothing. And I did learn, because I don't want to waste my time with any ignorance. Again, I learned as a teenager, you're right. And then as I continued to grow up, I learned that people don't like it when you want to say we're different. I am a differentiated self who has thoughts and feelings. Our feelings could be the same, but I don't suffer life. So no, they're not the same, because I use two sides of my brain. And if I cry, I can reassure my 0-1-year-old and my 3-year-old. And when I have panic attacks, I don't get off of them. And I know what 3D frequency was, 4D. Yes, in fact, thank goodness I got out of all of it. It was a gradual progression, because that's what happens when you're a master of Resh and when you're in communion with God, and when you also know what it means to love. So thanks to Jesus, I learned how to forgive. Thanks to Buddha, to laugh, although I make fun of him, but that's the whole point. He makes fun of me, and we're in good company. I'm presence, the lovely cloak of Christ. So as Stephen Porges points out, when people get triggered into either mobilization defenses or shutting down, they develop elaborate narratives to make sense of what their body's doing. And that he hopes that therapists will realize that triggers are physiological states, not words or scripts. That's the first step, your body. The words and scripts are for the people to understand, but the part of working with your body is what's important first. And when you deal with trauma victims, their nervous system is a neuroceptive state that has great advantages in detecting a predator, but is totally compromised in being social. So you're not an intelligent mind when you're playing Russian roulette on a screen, because you are confused with neutrality, and you're going to automatically think I'm hiding a sword in my behind, which is why you're a bad hunter. You're a bad warrior. You're bad in every single way, shape, and form of our human species. You're unevolved. I don't need you in the herd, but you are part of the herd. You see, this is how a person's brain, when it's intelligent, works. It's who's going to be the smarter ones of the block, the ones who know how to do both sides of their brain. The ones who clearly show us they have one-sided of the brain. Again, lack of bilateral vertical overall integration makes you a buffoon to me, because I would be able to read you like the back of your hand by the time you're done. Hey, Cusco, you got 5 hands. What's up? Vendetta, envy, jealousy, anything that I didn't see when I was a teenager with morons. And I stopped calling them that because I'm a moron too. And then again, like I told you, I closed out my karma with my masculine. And I'm like, okay, I want to keep it that way. I like good karma. Good karma is good. So, but by the way, we're in a different era since it's the year 2025. Just so you know, I've been around for a while. In fact, I began life in a very specific way, and then I will end life in a very specific way in the cosmos. Neil deGrasse, man, I love you. The cosmos is amazing. Science doesn't actually take away from any of us, the spiritual ones, because we know they can't disprove us, but they can certainly show that nobody's a monster. And that's on both sides of the ends, because anybody who wants to be a monster is still fighting their own monsters, which is why it's unfortunate. Doing unto others that which was done unto you. Very unfortunate. Self-righteous, contemptuous batons, scarlet letters. That's not how you do dharma. That's how you continue with karma. But again, the species evolves and expands for a reason. It always has. Look where we're at. You're seeing me from a computer. The ones who think AI and technology is bad, they're not going to be here. In fact, what I love meeting are the smart ones. I saw a man. That was yesterday. Brilliant. And those are, we only need a handful of them. But believe me, it's not a few will be chosen, many will be called. Everyone has now the opportunity to get the kingdom of God within them with a good therapist if they need it. Then once they're there, that's the enlightened seed. Thank you, Sadhguru. So I bring it all in again, mystic, spiritual, mindful, to give you the explanation. Be yourself. So if you didn't understand our conversation, just in case, because I know I did a little of this and I always do it, and I leave you hanging sometimes. Leadership skills, equanimity, because you're calm and centered inside. You know how to use discernment, because it's not based on what you like or don't like. It's based on what works and what doesn't work. So like my nutritionist diary, that's why I put it there with skepticism. Yes, skeptic. So you allow yourself to discern who's a good professional, who's a bad one, and it's based on what works. The nervous system works, and the bilateral vertical overall integrated brain works to bring you longevity, well-being, everything you want. Because now you're not faking it. So bad resilience is really bad for people. But again, some people don't know it. Only those who have lost the need for security are truly secure. Thank you, Sadhguru. That's the people who own their child parts. So our essence lives through us and it didn't get sucked out. The nice thing is the ones who go heal their higher self, they allow themselves to continue to follow it. Kylie, narcissist healing. Another lady with disorganized attachment healing. Psychopath healing. I don't need that many. I know they're out there, and there's more than just the 3 that I mentioned. And when someone wants to say lack of imagination of for evil, that pity, pity, pity. That's not nice, because you don't need to be using those words that way. We got Michael, forensic criminologist scale, Michael Stone, evil people. They all end up in prison, except for the ones who are charming to the other people who basically either are skating by in life with stereotypes, gender, all of it, or they're in prison too. So let me think. Peter Pan, where's your Lost Boys? That's how an intelligent mind works. So it's not fabulous to see petty behavior on screen and then people standing up for people who have the likes and dislikes. But it is part of the herd to have this in and out group. So as long as we have 2 sides of a coin, there's a middle one. There's this rabbi. He's amazing. He gave me the answer to that part. So internally oriented Isaac, other oriented Abraham, and then we have Jacob, balance of the 2, not concerned with either. That's why people don't like the ones of us who are in the middle, because they think that justice is meant to be done with their pitchforks, while justice is a balanced scale. Walk like an Egyptian. And it's also one that needs you to be out of your 3-year-old and your 14-month-old. And that means all your child parts, your 8-year-old. So when I see people following a leader, they're following a leader like a 3D, 4D person does. And they can continue to choose to do so. they won't want to be around equanimity because they think we're the spiritual bypassers or the buffoon scientists. In the meantime, we're like, sure we are. I mean, really, we're all a little bit stupid about something, but be yourself, please, and get to the mastery of your beautiful mental and emotional intelligence. We have a good time here. I do. Leadership skills that make a difference is that we will see to leave our planet with less of the self-righteous, contemptuous baton. How far we go depends. I think that we're at a good, I know we have a good spot because I've seen them. The ones who know what I know, it's one globe, give it up, and let's see to make it work. And all the intelligent ones, they're always surrounding each other. So they get to be in different places. Again, everybody can choose to be their true self. There are different soul age groups, but science and spirituality, again, they keep all of us humbled, the ones of us who are intelligent and enlightened, and they also keep us loving and enriched because that ventral vagal state, man, I'm always happy. I'm always energized. Your energy, you never die. I mean, well, physically, but you know, the soul lives on forever. Well, until we start the cycle all over again. But that's for another time, not for now. So in the meantime, thanks for stopping by. Be yourself. We'll be back with more.